Yeah. And I think as you get successful in your business, or you move down a path where you've seen some success, kind of now looking back, I don't think you take it for granted, especially if you've been kind of in it for a bit, you have a little bit of experience. You don't take that for granted that somehow just because you've been successful in the past, you're going to be as successful moving forward. So there's a calculation piece to that where you're trying to really navigate that and make the right decision if the stakes are high.
Yeah. I think we often find ourselves in another scenario where the stakes feel high, but they're actually not.
Right.
And learning how to differentiate that is really important. And I work with clients regularly where they will say things as though the stakes are really high, as though the survival is at stake, or
right,
like that. And when you really break it down, you're like, actually, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I understand you're scared. I understand that there's fear involved, but we have to build a resiliency to understanding how to dance with our fears, kind of the language we use, because there are some things that feel scary, but we actually need to lean into them. And then there's some things that actually are scary.
Correct.
And those are the high stakes moments where it's like, okay, slow down, really look at it, and those are harder decisions to make.
Right. And I think when you study any type of leadership process or framework, this isn't a new thought, but it's true that we sometimes forget, and that is there are usually higher stakes in the indecision than there are in making the decision, right? More is lost in indecision than making the wrong decision. And so I think that too, we tend to size things up and go, well, this is a high stakes decision, without considering the fact, well, if I don't make a decision, the stakes are actually higher.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that we were thinking about when we've both walked through circumstances where the decision, I always think of them as heavy, carrying this decision, because you got to carry it around a while you're making it, and it just is heavy and it's exhausting to make. These are the kinds of things that we're calling these hard decisions, right? And so the first one, those things felt to us like, oh yeah, the stakes were high, and they really were.